Hello everyone. I won't be able to join today's class, but I have recorded the drawing so you can finish it live during the class basically. So today you're gonna need the drawing from last class, the pencil, paper, eraser. If you're using charcoal instead of pencil, you're gonna use your charcoal. And let's get started. I am going to do the drawing a little bit fast-paced, so the video is not as heavy, but of course we can always pause it just if you need a few minutes to catch up. So this is our reference picture. So last class we started the shading on the left swan. I was telling you that we want the background to be gray or dark so that our swan can be light. So make sure your background is nice and dark. Not super dark, but darker than just the white of the paper. Okay, so this is just a quick reminder. If you were not here with us last class, you can always just start from the beginning, just the shapes, and you can always finish the drawing later. So with pencil or charcoal, I like to go over the darkest area. So here in the water, and this is, you can use your pencil, graphite pencil, or your charcoal pencil, or just charcoal like this if you have the set like that. Just go over it with on the darkest areas. Remember to keep looking at your picture. And if you want, you can let me get started or be a little bit ahead so you know what you're aiming for. And then I grab a Q-tip, paper towel, or a brush and just blend it. If you use the Q-tip or the paper towel, it is going to be harder, so you're gonna be able to blend quite a bit more than the brush. So it's always handy to have quite a few different tools. And last time I grabbed a piece of paper. I think we had another one here. And I colored one area very dark, lots of powder coming out. I grab it with my Q-tip or my brush, and if my brush is loaded, I go to the darkest area and then spread it around, because you don't want to grab it and then put it in an area that is a lot lighter. You never really know how dark it is going to look, so it's always better just to go ahead and do the darker areas first. If you're using just your regular pencil, you can use the same technique. Just grab a very dark area. I would probably use more like paper towel or a Q-tip just to transfer it. So, and even with I'm just gonna do it down here. You can see you can still transfer with graphite or just your regular pencil. Another thing you can do is, if you have your pencil, I'm just gonna do it over here. In these areas that are very light, you can just color it directly, but use very little pressure like this, that you barely see it. You can do left to right, or you can do circles. The circles look more even, not just lines, but it takes more time. Just make sure you're doing very little pressure. And then after you're done, you can grab your paper towel and just blend it. So if you're doing lines, blend it the opposite way. So I drew my lines left to right, and I blend up and down. And this one you can just blend, and you're gonna have a nice soft color. So that's what I'm doing right now. Whatever material you're using, you can still achieve it. And you see, whenever I grab graphite or charcoal, as soon as I put my brush down, that's the darkest area. So don't put the brush down on the light areas right after you grab some charcoal. So for example, I'm grabbing a little bit here. I'm not going directly to the swans. I'm just going around, because yeah. If you notice spots like this is because I put my fingers right on the paper, and then the oils from my skin will make it look like that, like a little stain. So try not to touch the paper, even if you think your fingers are clean. And the main thing with any drawing, I find, the key is to be very patient and to go back and forth from your eraser to again your pencil, back and forth. So now that my drawing is a little bit dirty, I don't want to put my hand directly because I'm gonna smudge it all over. So I'm just gonna use this little piece of paper so I can rest my hand on it. Make sure the paper is clean. And now that I have my hand stable, I'm able to go back with my eraser, and I'm gonna use it as if it were a white pencil. So I'm gonna draw with my eraser, and at this point I'm really looking at the picture, trying to see the very, very light areas. So even though our picture here, the animal is all white, you gotta pay attention to the brightest spots, pure white versus the a little bit darker gray and darkest grays. So with the eraser, you want to go over the very bright areas and maybe define or put a little bit more texture. So I'm gonna do this swan and I'll give you some time to catch up. And if the wing or a part of the swan got blended a little bit with the background, make sure you go over it. Sometimes the leftovers from or the little particles of the eraser stay on your page. It's very common for us to want to blow it. Sometimes I still do that, but when we blow, sometimes there's saliva and that will get stuck on your paper, and then whenever you go over it with charcoal, it will look really dark, so you don't want that. So you can just grab your paper and shake it like that, or just use a clean brush to remove it. So now you see our animal is very white now. So maybe we can pause the video here so you can catch up. And after we do a few details with our eraser, I'm just gonna grab my dry brush or the Q-tip or whatever you're using, and I'm gonna go over it with whatever is on it. Very light pressure. Just to get the shadows here and there. I don't want to do all of it again because I do want to leave the lighter areas intact. And I think I need to fix my swan here. The wing is bigger. And again with the dry brush, just blend in the edge. And I'm gonna grab my charcoal and just draw the small lines that indicate a few shadows. Shadow here. And I'm gonna grab my Q-tip or my paper towel and go over it again. So just going back and forth between my dry brush or Q-tip or paper towel. You see that I'm not really adding much or anything at all. I'm just using whatever's left here plus what's on the paper already. And I'm gonna grab my eraser and I'm gonna do a little bit of the water detail. Maybe just this one. So I'm just gonna erase some areas like this, just kind of giving the illusion of the waves and their reflection. if you have one of these erasers, it's nice to keep them clean. They last longer. So if you erase with your regular eraser and you have these little particles here, make sure you clean it before using this one, because they'll get stuck here. And now I'm using this eraser. If you don't have this, you can use your regular one, but the idea is I'm putting less pressure so it erases less. I'm just randomly making lines, thicker lines here and there. The closer it is to the animals, the lines are thicker and longer, and as I go down, the lines get shorter. I'll just blend it here and there. So those are our details for the water. Maybe we can add more just give you a minute to catch up. So basically you go back and forth with your erasers. If you use the regular eraser, the page will, or the area will be lighter. So you also want to use maybe the same one but very light, or one of these, and just softly go over other areas so you get two different whites, so very white and a darker area. So maybe you can pause the video here to finish the water. And now we're gonna grab, if you have a white charcoal, you can use it, white charcoal pencil. If you don't, you can use your eraser. Make sure that just the tip or the edge or the corner of your eraser to make very fine lines. Basically, we're just gonna highlight a few areas here on the water. Not all of them, just a few here and there. Now I'm gonna grab my pencil. We're gonna grab an HB or an H, something very light, or a 2H if you have those, but if you only have the 1 HB, that's fine. And we're gonna start drawing details. So remember, don't put your hand right over your drawing. So I want to do more like the shapes here. So I'm basically just going over these darker areas and just adding a bit more detail. So you see how much pressure I'm applying on the paper? Barely anything. So I'm gonna show you just right like this. You can barely see it. Just a little bit of texture, and just lines like this, at least around the neck, or at least to the left of this guy's neck. And I want to define this a little bit more. And I'm just doing circles or lines here and there, always going the same direction as the wing is, so this way. And same on this other guy. So I start on the darkest areas. This needs to be a little bit higher. So always go back to your reference picture and see where is it that is lighter. Where are the highlights and where are my shadows? How dark are my shadows? And just a few lines here and there to give it a little bit more texture. I think the neck could be a little bit thicker. Maybe this one. And maybe we can pause the video here so you can catch up. shadows or the reflections from the animals into the water. So we did a few here and there, but now let's follow the shape. So we're just gonna kind of draw this same but backwards. So if you see on the picture right here, basically we're drawing the head and the neck backwards. It doesn't have to be perfect because you can only see parts of it. Just a few more reflections in that using that kind of shape is enough. And I'm gonna use my pencil here just to do a few dark areas. So you don't really see the exact shape, just the colors here and there. And I'm just gonna finish the drawing quickly just because I don't want the video to be too long. But you take your time and we can pause the video if you need it. So on this side, same thing, kind of the same shapes as up there but backwards. You don't have to do the entire neck, just some highlights here and there indicating the shape. And now I'm gonna do a few lines here, maybe with my charcoal. And I go over it with my Q-tip. So just lines with your charcoal, blend it, and then in between the lines, you can do some more lines with your eraser. And then the lines here, you want them to be straight. a lot more straight than at the bottom. Just grab your eraser and just do a few straight lines. And I'm gonna erase even more exactly where they are here at the bottom, so just a few like indications that their bodies are being reflected in the water. Just a white. So just a few here and there. So you notice it's lighter right under them. So again, what I just did was erase, if this is their body, I erase the area, just a few lines here and there. And then I go back with my charcoal. So basically you could do this forever. Just going back and forth. Charcoal, then blend, then erase, then blend. I'm gonna grab the white charcoal and do a few highlights. Remember, take your time on each step. I'm just doing it fast so the video is not too long. Kinda just indicating the main shape of the swan. Doesn't have to be perfect. When we look at the entire drawing, we're not really going to notice the details down there. And I don't think I did the leaves here, so just lines. This is our last step. Just lines to make it a little bit more fluffy. Remember, the lines follow the shape of the body, like the direction of the body. Oopsie. And last step, you take a step back and look at the entire picture. And if you're happy with it, then you can sign it. Sometimes I like to grab my picture and look at it through a mirror. So I have a mirror on my back and I just put it like that, or just flip it like this and look at it through the mirror, or just take a picture and look at it through the picture or backwards, just to trick your brain, and then you can really see the mistakes that you need to fix. Okay, so let's sign and date. Always date at least a year. Okay, that's our drawing. I hope you enjoyed this class. As always, I will see you in person or through the video next class. Okay, have a good weekend, and remember to show us the pictures. I'm sure May wants to see them, and send us your pictures. Have a good week. Bye bye.